Hi, this is Chris Condon with John Green Commercial and Industrial RE Advisor. Wanted to take a couple of minutes here today to kind of talk through due diligence process and procedures. You've put a property under contract now it's time to go through your due diligence process. Most buyers don't have kind of a checklist of things that they need to look into to make sure that they're buying a good property that doesn't have a lot of problems and issues and challenges that once they own it they're going to have to deal with. So this is kind of a checklist that I've put together here over the years. Hope you find it helpful. Wanted to go through it here real quick with you. The biggest thing to start with here, property information. Make sure you collect as much information about the property as possible. Ideally your attorney is going to help you with a legal description, but you want to make sure if it's an older industrial property or a property that's hasn't been developed or even developed recently, make sure you get an environmental report. A lot of times your bank's gonna need that for your loan if you are getting a loan, but if not, you're certainly going to want to look into that. Also the zoning. Have a conversation with the city. Make sure for yourself that the zoning is adequate or proper for what you intend on doing with the property. There's some other things here. Each property is going to be unique, not necessarily all of the things that you need to look into or have to look into, but certainly a good checklist to start from. Looking at the actual structure of the property, like I said, once again, not every issue is going to be applicable to every property, but you certainly want to make sure that you have clean title. You certainly want to make sure that all the safety, security, life, health, safety type systems are adequate and up to code. The last thing you want to do is have a fire inspector show up, let you know that the fire inspection or the fire suppression system isn't up to code, and it's going to be a significant investment or a significant amount of money after the fact to bring it up to code. Also want to have a conversation with the city regarding any code violations. Are there a number of issues with the property that the seller didn't disclose? Probably makes sense to have a conversation with a code enforcement officer or the city regarding a property that you're purchasing. As well as if it's a condominium, if there's an association in place, you're certainly going to want to look at and have your attorney look at all the association documents. Make sure you understand the bylaws. Make sure you look at the finances of the association. If it is a leased building, you want to get as much information on the tenants as possible. A detailed rent roll, leases, if there's any vacant spaces in there, are they currently marketing the property? Have they had any offers or interest on those vacant spaces? Has anything been agreed to? Ultimately, once you purchase that property, that's going to affect you. You want to be aware of that. Also make sure that as you're going through leases, are there any TI improvements, tenant improvement expenses that have been promised to a tenant by the seller or by a previous owner that you're going to have to adhere to once you inherit that lease purchasing the property? As well as rent concessions. Sometimes rents will go up, sometimes rents will go down, sometimes they'll be for a specific period of time. Just thoroughly understand the tenants and the leases and all the obligation that goes with that. Also the financial information of the property. You need to understand what have the operating expenses been for the last couple of years. Both the mechanical systems as far as gas, electric, as well as roof maintenance, parking lot maintenance, all of those sorts of things, landscaping. Kind of an opportunity for buyers. What are the real estate taxes? Have they been appealed recently? Do they need to be appealed? How does the assessed value relate to what the purchase price is? Also, as well as security deposits. If security deposits have been taken, those need to be transferred over to you as the buyer as well. Make sure that's handled. Typically an attorney will be very good about this, but you need to be aware of it as well. Lastly, just general information to kind of collect on the property. One of the biggest things, kind of litigation pending. Is there a new roadway coming in? Is this going to be part of an eminent domain type fight that you're going to have? Are there new legislations that the city's putting in place? Did somebody slip and fall in the property and is now suing the owner or the association? Stuff like that. Just things to be aware of. Certainly if you're buying a property and inheriting or taking over the personal property as well, make sure all of that is documented so you know exactly what you're getting as you buy it. Other than that, that's kind of the due diligence checklist I use. happy to share with you the checklist that I have. Like I said, not everything is going to be applicable to every property, but it's certainly a good starting point. Make sure that all your T's are crossed and I's are dotted, and you're headed in the right direction. If there's any way that I can help you or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Happy to help however I can. Thank you so much and have a great day.